Hi, my name is Hillary Fredette, and I am the Distance Education Librarian at the Downtown Campus Library. And I'm going to go over some things that would be helpful if you're trying to do research and you're a distance ed student and you want to get the materials that you have located. So I'll cover both how to locate the material and then how to get them once you've located them. Okay, so if you go to the library's homepage, www.libraries.wvu.edu, that's where you're going to start all your research. And first of all, you should know that where it says borrow from other libraries, that's what you're going to use to get the materials once you find them. And so I'm going to start with that. If you click on Illiad, and my cursor doesn't seem to be working. Okay, so if you click on Illiad, it will take you to the login page, and you would log in using your MyID username and password. I'm actually not going to log in now. I just want you to know that it exists so that you can get your work when you need it. You can get your materials. The main thing to keep in mind once you get into this Illiad is that you select Distance Ed as your status and you select Downtown Library as the pickup location. Those two things are really important so that we know that you're accessing the library from a distance and we will then get the materials to you. When I say you select downtown as the pickup location, we understand that you're not going to come into the library to pick them up because you're a distance student. We will put those two things together and we will mail books to you. We will mail them to you and include a postage paid return label so that you can mail them back to us. So you don't actually have to pay anything to get books mailed to your house. We do that free for the first 10 books, and then after 10 books, we ask that you pay the return postage. But I have to tell you, I've never had anyone have to pay anything for getting their books. Articles we will send to you electronically, and they're totally free. So the one good thing about understanding this is if you already know that there's an article or a book that you want, you don't need to bother to figure out, does WVU own this book or have this article? You can just go log on to Illiad, put in a request, whether it be for an article or a book, and we will figure out where it is and send it to you. Okay, so that kind of gives you a step up on everyone. So I'm going to show you now how to do some basic research. And so we're going to go back to the library's homepage. And you'll notice this summon box right here. That's a really good place to start all your research. It's kind of a great jumping off point, and you can see it searches for books, ebooks, videos, articles, etc. So the main thing to remember when you're doing searching is start with your keywords. So I'm going to just put in fracking. And that's a very simple, basic search. And we'll see what kind of results we get. Okay, so it found 11,000 results. You can see over on the left side of the screen, it's giving me options for narrowing my search to different types of materials. So under content type, I would click on more, and you can see the options you have for limiting to make it more useful for you. I'm going to start by I don't want a transcript. I don't want a photograph. So I'm excluding these things I don't want. And you can see it already excludes newspaper articles. I don't want conference proceedings or data sets. I think I'll leave it like that. And so that's including everything else. So that narrowed it down a little bit. I can also go down and I can limit by the publication date. So I don't think this will change it much because you can see most of the publications have been done in the last few years, but I'm going to say just the last couple of years, and I'm going to update it. So now I'm down to about 9,000. You'll notice also on the content type, there's magazine articles and journal articles. A lot of people ask us what the difference between those are. Generally, magazines are things like Time Magazine, Newsweek, Sports Illustrated. They're more popular. And journal articles are more scholarly. So I am going to click on journal articles and try to limit it even more. So you can see once I limited it to more scholarly things, I got it down to 2,000. Looking through my results here, you can see they all have this online, or most of them will have this online. So if I wanted to look at one of these articles, I just click on the link using the title. And generally, I can get the article right there. There's the PDF full text. You know, generally look around the results that you get and you'll see usually something about PDF. And then once I get to the article itself, and again, it depends on what database it's coming from, but if you look generally to the top or to the side, you'll see, how to email it to yourself, how to print it, how to save it, okay? And you can do whatever you would like and then go back to the result list. Now I've actually gotten myself in a interesting place, and I'm going to go back to WVU libraries again. I'm going to show you another way to search, and that is using, I've done a very basic search here with just using one word, fracking. If I wanted to narrow down my search better, I could put in more terms. You want to avoid using words like at, the, and. When you put terms together in this box, the database is assuming that you've put them together with an and. So I could put fracking and, hydraulics. I'm going to say fracking, then I'm going to say West Virginia, and I'm putting West Virginia in quotes so that the database takes that as a phrase. So it's going to search for fracking and West Virginia. And that narrowed it down to 3,000 items. So I should point out this first item, you can see the little mortar board, is a dissertation. And dissertations tend to be very good for research, so I'd always recommend you take a look at a dissertation if you run across one when you're doing your research. And here it's most likely going to be an electronic so I could click on that and I could pull up the whole thing. Okay, so I'm just going to look and see if there's any other examples I can show you that might be kind of typical things that you would run across. I want to limit this search again because since I have a brand new search, I'm going to take out magazines, newspapers. I guess I'll take out conference proceedings. So let's try another result. Morgantown bans fracking. I think this is older, but I just wanted to find a different database so you can see what it might look like. Again, at the top, I can email, print, I can save it, and this is the full text of the article. Okay. So that's Summon in a nutshell. The one thing I would point out additionally is this. If I wanted to do a search on this and I wanted to keep the refinements that I've done along the side here, I could click on that instead of the new search, which is going to be your default. And then I could add, and I want this to look at danger, dangers, dangerous, and so I'm going to use a wildcard, and that will pick up all of those. So this narrowed it down even further. I'm down to 238 results. And it's finding some books here, and one of them is an ebook. If WVU owns that, you can click right into it and read it online. So that gives you kind of a basic idea of Summon, and like I said, that's a very good place to start. I'm going to go back to the library's homepage, and I want to point out how you would look for other databases beyond Summon. So right here, there's a database link, and if you go in here, this section, databases by subject, is really helpful. If you search Summoned and you haven't found good results, or if you're looking for something a little more in-depth, you could go into here and you could search, depending on what your topic is, search a database specific to that subject. The other thing I want to show before we run out of time is Academic Search Complete, which is another great database to start with. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Academic Search Complete. And this time I'll search autism. And you can see it's offering, and if I could spell, it's offering suggestions, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick that. Again, I can limit my results when I'm done, but I'm going to go ahead and search this. And one thing that EBSCOhost does, EBSCOhost is the vendor for Academic Search Complete, is this peer-reviewed link, this peer-reviewed limit here. If I click on that, it's going to narrow it down even further, and every single thing I get is going to be scholarly. So I would recommend that you always click on the peer-reviewed limiter in Academic Search Complete. So as you're going through here, you can see a lot of them are also full text. I'll just go into any of them, and again, here's the linked full text. And it's taking me to the actual item, and this you should be able to, yeah, here I could copy it. Now I'm kind of surprised. I'm looking at where, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm in this program, but you should be able to save that paper fairly easily. And I want to get back to my, okay. Here is, if you look over here, you could print it, email it after you've looked at it in the full text. Okay. So that's basic searching. I am going to go back and do another search and just show you some of the limits that I can put on it this time. So before I do the search, I could limit it to full text. A lot of people are not interested in finding things that they can't actually read right then. Just as I did in Summon, I can limit it by the publication date, and I can limit it to the type of material I'm going to get. And here is my peer-reviewed. So I could do that before I actually did the search. Sometimes people limit it by document types. To tell you the truth, I would just leave that. And I am going to go ahead and do this search again with those limits on it beforehand. So cut it down about half. Looking to see if there's one here that we don't own, and I can show you how you would request it. But amazingly, we actually have all of these. So I'm going to actually act as if we don't own this one, even though it says the full text is right there. If there was not a full text link or a PDF full text or an HTML full text, and I wanted to get a hold of this article, I just want to make sure you know how to do this. I could click on Find It at WVU. Well, it should take me into Illiad. But I think it's not because it knows that we own it, and so I'm not fooling it at all. So I apologize for that. Basically, if you are looking at an article that you're interested in getting and there is no link for PDF or HTML, look for this Find It at WVU, and it should take you to an Illiad link. Once you get to that Illiad link, you will go into your Illiad account and you should be able to order that article. It will populate the results, and you can then request that we get it from somewhere else. Okay. So last of all, I want to show you what to do if you run into problems. And I'm going to go back to the home page. If you're trying to find research and you run into problems, whether you're having problems with how to phrase a search, or you've located something and you're having problems printing it or downloading it, or you get something requested through Illiad and you're having trouble downloading the article, anything that pertains to your research, you can actually go to the library's homepage and click on Ask a Librarian while you're online, and this will take you to a chat session. And you could type in your question here and ask for help on whatever problem you're having with research. We have this service open almost all the time. If you come in and it says live chat, and well, here it is. Here are the hours, and you can see we're open till midnight, Monday through Thursday, and including Sunday as well. So this is a very popular service. It's great because you can do it while you're online, and you can do the search and do the talking to the librarian at the same time. So I highly recommend that. Also, I will be putting up a research guide outlining more how to do research, and I currently have one on distance learning, and you can go into this, and this kind of talks about all the services that we offer to distance ed students and kind of gives the basics for finding books and articles. So this is also a jumping off point. My contact information is here, and you're welcome to contact me anytime by email, phone, or chat, and I will try to answer your questions. So I hope this has been helpful, but I encourage you to get online and text one of the librarians that it's on Ask a Librarian, or give me a call if you need any help. Thank you.